Good morning, students. This is Hari Krishna, working as an assistant professor from the Department of Computer Science, Sarkar Engineering College. Today, we'll going to discuss about a small demo on uh, FLAT. So, FLAT means it is a formal languages automata theory, right? So, this is the part of one of the part in theory of computation. So coming to what exactly, generally all of the students are theory of computation is a little bit boring subject. Uh, just like thinking about a little bit boring, but it is not a boring subject. This is also one of the beautiful subject in computer science. So we'll go to introduction part. So coming to what is how they are useful theory of computation. So the theory of computation is a branch of computer science that deals with how efficiently a problem can be solved on a model of computation by using an algorithm. So suppose we have to solve any type of computation. There is a specific model is there. So using on that model, we have to solve a problem, right? So the theory of computation deals with some of the subtopics. Those topics are the first one is automata theory and languages. The second one is computability theory, and the third one is complexity theory. Right. Now we have to learn a brief uh, discussion about these three uh, things: automata theory and computability theory, as well as complexity theory. Now coming to the automata theory. So here, automata theory is the deals with the definition and properties of the various mathematical models of computation. So here there are the so many subtopics are there. So one is called the uh, finite automata. Second one is called the context-free grammar. Third one is called the push-down automata. The fourth one is called the Turing machine. Like these are the major topics are covered in formal languages automata theory, right? So see the so what is finite automata? So what is context-free grammar? These are the one each top that topic represented like a one unit. So these are the things in depth we have to discuss in coming classes. So coming to the computability theory, in computability theory, it deals with what can and what can't be computed by the model. So what type of problem can be compute, what type of problem can't can be compute. So these are the things we have to discuss in computability theory, right? So coming to the complexity theory. So in complexity theory, it is a group of computable problems based on their hardness. So majorly we have to concentrate only on the automata theory, not for the rest of the topics, right? Now coming to the, so what is the, so what is the automata theory? The major things are there, finite automata. So it is a automata theory means that automatic, we have to work automatically without direct intervention of a human. So suppose how automatic door, let us take a small example regarding this automation, like a how uh, automatic door will be opened. So man just stands behind the door, already door will be closed. So there is waiting to enter the room. So man just in front of the door, just automatically the door should be open. If there is a no man in front of the door, the just door will be closed, like that. So it will reach the destination, right? So suppose if the man is there, definitely open the door, he is entering into a room. If there is a no man, just the door will be closed, like that. That is called the automation with without directly uh, without man direct interaction, direct interaction about the man, right? So the work will be done automatically. So that is the major thing of that automata theory. Okay. So now coming to what are the terminology which we are used in formal languages automata theory. Before that, we have to discuss about the what is the purpose, what is the major objective of this automata theory. So to develop a formal mathematical model of computation that reflects the real world computation. So this is the major objective of this automata theory, right? So what now coming to uh, the basic terminology about this automata theory. The first one is called symbols. So everybody knows a symbol is a single character. It is a character, right? So let us take the what are the various symbols are used in this automata theory, like just like A, B, C, D, so on up to Z. Sometimes we have to use some numerical values 0, 1, 2, like that, and sometimes we have to use some special characters also, like a plus, minus, dollar, okay, hash. Okay, these are the things we have to use. So those are called just treated as a symbols. Now coming to alphabets. So alphabets can be represented as a sigma. So an alphabet is a finite non-empty set of characters which is denoted by sigma, right? So let us take sigma is equal to 0 and 1. So these are called just a binary alphabets. So let us take sigma is equal to ABC and so on up to Z. So these are called lowercase letters. Like so, what is the major? So symbol is also an alphabet. Now alphabet is not. So the alphabets can be represented in the form of a set form, right? So in between every character, we should maintain a just like a curly braces. So in those curly braces, we have to use like a characters. So those are called alphabets, right? So the next one is called string or a word. Suppose using the either we have to use the binary numbers or we have to use it some lowercase letters, anything. So making on those, we have to prepare one a string. Okay, a string is a finite set of sequence of symbols. Let us take the example using the binary numbers 0, 1, 1, 0 like that. Or suppose we have to take, so that should be 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So that should be belongs to the binary set. So in that set, sigma is equal to curling, within the curling braces, we have to write like a 0, comma 1. Or suppose we have to use A, B, A, B, A. So that should be belongs to the lowercase letter. So that sigma is equal to within the curling braces, we have to write a AB. So this is the way we have to write. So coming to the empty string. So empty string is nothing but it is a string with zero occurrences of symbols. There is no element in that particular set. So that can be represented as like a so null or like which is denoted by an epsilon, right? So coming to the length, how to find the length of the string? Suppose we have to uh, write any word or any string. So now we have to find out that length of that particular string. That string should be denoted by a W. So that mod W. Why we are using mod? The length should be always positive. That's why we have to write a modulus of the W is equal to. We have to count how many characters are there in that particular string. So that is called the length of the string. Now coming to the concatenation. So concatenation means we have to just join the two strings. So concatenation is nothing but combining the two strings. Suppose let us take the string x is equal to one word or a string or y is equal to one word. Now we have to combine these two words like xy is equal to, first of all we have to write the x denoting word and next following by the y denoting word. So this is called the basic terminology of formal languages automata theory. I think I hope to understand the basic I mean introduction about the finite automata, and we have to discuss about the what is the basic terminology of the finite automata. So the rest of the things should be covered in next upcoming classes. Thank you.